Hey, Super Cruisers, it's Frank and Kevin from Cruising with Wheels.
Listen up, the classroom is open and it's time to see what you can learn on your next cruise.
There are so many classes you can take while you're on a cruise. It doesn't have to be all about eating and drinking yourselves into oblivion.
You can learn something new, and it's a good way to meet other cruisers with the same interests. So listen up, you singles and solo cruisers.
Now, this first one, I half would love to do and half would be petrified, but skydiving.
I'd love to do it.
Right? I know. You would do it. I would watch. Be envious yet scared.
Now, this is only on Royal Caribbean.
That's right, because Royal Caribbean, in partnership with Ripcord by iFly, offers passengers on Anthem of the Seas and other Quantum-class ships the chance to fly.
Oh my God, I'm going to do it.
I know. After putting on your flight suit and goggles, you'll skydive in a simulator for 60 seconds with the aid of an experienced instructor. Passengers 3 years old and above can try the skydiving simulator for free on most cruises. There are height and weight restrictions.
I suggest that you make reservations for this because I hear that they that's
hot.
Helpful.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a hot item to do.
It is.
Next up is an interesting pastime, one that my father is involved with, that would be golfing.
I don't get it, but hey.
Now, golfing is great as a pastime for some people. It's not our thing.
No.
But some cruise lines like Norwegian, which offer driving nets, have found ways to incorporate it. More upscale lines, I'm thinking of like Azamara. They organize golf-themed sailings a few times a year, which is an interesting concept.
Golf cruise.
Golfing is a hot sport for a lot of people.
I guess so.
For those who want to practice their putting skills, most mainstream cruise ships also boast mini golf courses.
I can do that.
On their upper decks. They're also modified to 9 holes, but they do a great job.
I know. I could manage that, kind of.
The only issue that
Maybe.
The only issue is that a lot of the mini golf on the ships is not handicap accessible.
That's the problem.
Remember on, I think it was the Escape. Yes, it was the Escape because we were with Derek and Gregory. We were watching them play and you couldn't get up there.
Yeah, I know.
Next up on the list is
cooking. Now that's something I can get into. Hello, Frank's Cooking Corner. Yeah, you can sign up for cooking classes and demonstrations on many ships.
Yummy!
I know. Some offerings like those found in Holland America's Culinary Arts Center feature an onboard chefs who cook while you observe as part of the audience.
I'm salivating.
I know. Now, others like Viking's Kitchen Table allow you to join the chef in port to source local ingredients before he or she shows you how to prepare them back on the ship.
Interesting.
That's kind of cool. Yeah. Now, Regent Seven Seas Culinary Arts Kitchen aboard the Seven Seas Explorer carries an added fee but provides kind of more hands-on and highly individualized cooking classes where you can learn to make a dish custom to the destination you're visiting. So it's really kind of it is. And then a lot of them in ports, you can actually go on like culinary discover tours where in port you go to places and learn to cook. And that's awesome. I would like to do that.
Now, many of our seasoned cruisers, particularly within the Royal Caribbean family, know already that surfing is something that you can learn aboard a cruise ship. You simply need to go on a Royal Caribbean cruise and try out their Flow Rider. It's a surf simulator. Now, its open hours are posted on each day's schedule, and with a few pointers from the crew who staff it, you'll be on your way in no time. If you find that you're unable to get the hang of it after a few attempts,
yes, that would be me.
You can also pay for instruction via group lessons or a private flow rider rental.
It looks hard.
Yeah,
No balance anyways.
You know, they also let you boogie board on that thing.
Oh.
So,
Okay.
I don't know. But I would like to learn how to surf.
I would watch.
I don't know as if I would have the proper balance to do that. I think I would be more opting for the skydiving.
Yeah.
But what's up next?
Next is art. Now, you all know about art auctions, but you know, many ships still offer them, okay? Or they present onboard art galleries with works for sale at set prices, and some of the art isn't for sale at all, it's just for show. Now, usually passengers are invited to art talks. Yes.
We've gone.
Yes, with the promise of free champagne.
And discounts on paintings.
Yes, or 2 or 3.
3 or 4.
Okay, if you want to purchase them, and we have, though we are forbidden from buying any more, according to my mother.
So take advantage of that if you get an invitation like we have, because it's free booze.
I know. Right? So, you know, if you're not going to buy art, it's just an experience to go. And we did a video on the process of being part of the art auction.
And you will see that linked above. Next on the list is very interesting to me, and I really want to get involved on our next cruise on this particular subject. We've actually been asked to speak about this subject, although we weren't able to on the particular cruise that we were on, but it is photography. Now, several lines, including Princess Helen America and Norwegian, offer photography classes. While the specifics differ from line to line, they generally focus on things like how to take better digital photos and how to properly edit them after they've been taken.
You see some of these photos and things that people have uploaded. Go to a class.
Now, Celebrity doesn't offer classes on how to improve your photo taking, but does present informative sessions to help you use things like iMovie and iPhoto, and how to edit your images and how to organize them. And that's because Celebrity has partnered with Apple and has a whole program designed on using the Apple software to better your vacation photography.
So that would be a very well invested cruise with them if you want to enjoy a cruise.
Especially if you're an Apple user.
And want to learn all about that. A good investment. The next one I find fascinating, and I always have, astronomy.
And I just have to say,
stars.
When I was reading through the notes and I saw this, I misread it,
as
always.
What did you think? Well, I always think it's something else.
I thought it was anatomy. And I was like,
Michael being fascinated by anatomy.
Where's he going with that?
No, astronomy, people, astronomy. Cunard's Queen Mary 2 is home to Illuminations, an onboard planetarium housed in the ship's main theater. Stars and other celestial bodies are projected onto the dome-like screen for passenger viewing as part of informative shows. Again, I would love this.
We will take a sponsored cruise, Cunard, if you are listening.
Please.
We would love, love, love to do a whole series of videos on this particular subject about the Cunard's Queen Mary 2.
It could be my passion. Now, another planetarium at sea is Viking Ocean Cruises' high-tech Explorer's Dome. It's a high-definition 7K planetarium. And then you got aboard Princess Cruises, passengers can explore the night sky on an interactive tour through its Discovery at Sea program in partnership with the Science Channel.
So interesting.
I know.
So interesting. And speaking of interesting things, there's another place where you can learn some knowledge. And most people wouldn't think about this.
I know.
When they see it.
It's very common.
We crave knowledge in our house. So when we were putting together this video for you guys, we thought of trivia.
Because we do videos about it.
Right. So trivia is a staple on just about every single cruise ship sailing the ocean. Some cruise lines even offer it more than once a day.
Yes.
There are topics that range from general knowledge and TV-themed songs, which I absolutely love, and I kill it in that category, to more tailored subjects like 80s music and Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
And he's a Harry Potter geek. Even if you're not the best keeper of useless information like Frank is with Frank Did you know that? Attending and soaking in the answers is a great way to learn a few new tidbits.
That's right. So go to my playlist. Frank's Did You Know That? Useless information, link above. Now, the next thing on the list are games, because there's a lot of games. Active physical games and sit down at the table games. So you can unleash your inner competitor. Now, whether you want to be up on the basketball court, shooting hoops, or doing some mini golf competitions, or they got Nintendo Wii tournaments.
Oh, I would like that.
Or you're in the, let's say you're in the library, you're playing board games, whatever you want to do. We've done play cards. We've done Dave and Darlene.
Well, I'm thinking
what do we play with Dave and Darlene?
We play Yahtzee.
Yahtzee.
But in particular, about a focus on learning. Many of the ship's casinos on sea days will offer how to play blackjack, baccarat, roulette, so you can really learn the ins and outs of that particular casino game.
Win some money.
Right. Well, when you're learning, you're not winning. But if you can learn a strategy first.
Learn first,
right?
Play later.
Now, next up on our list is also something that we crave and we look for when we're picking our cruises. Just in general.
The thing I love the most.
It's probably the thing we love the most, and that's history and culture.
Yeah.
For anyone who's a culture and history buff, river cruises all but guarantee you'll get your fill of history and culture, because it often doesn't take riverboats long to move from port to port. They can spend more time docked, which means passengers enjoy more time ashore to soak up that culture and really have an immersive experience. Many river lines also bring on local performers and historians to hold lectures for the passengers. So you will get great history lessons. Any river cruise that would like to sponsor us too, we're right here.
We're there again. One of my passions. Now, speaking of passions, let's talk about the next one, because I would say this is one of Kevin's passions.
It's one of my passions, but I have to tell you that a lot of times, believe it or not, the cruise line learns from me.
I know. Now, the next one is the art of mixology. That's right. From wine pairing, tasting, and mixing classes on MSC, Holland America, Princess, Cunard, and Oceana, to martini and beer tasting on Carnival. There's so much to try. Now, most lines have their own wine bars or microbreweries and will offer the assistance of onboard members who are sommeliers. Sommelier and brewmasters for the beer lovers, not here. But yeah, and it's funny because when we go on our cruises, I bring with us
my secret recipe.
The recipe for a New York Cosmo. Because we always have found that when we're on the cruise ship and he orders a Cosmo, they make it according to the corporate recipe. And it's usually 9 times out of 10 not a traditional New York Cosmo. And then they bring it, and we know from the get-go, right? It doesn't look right.
Right. Doesn't look right. Doesn't smell right.
But he gives it the sip, and he goes, no. And then we go,
not to be a snob.
Right. But hey, we're paying.
And we've already said this is how we want it made.
Right.
And they go, oh no, you'll love mine.
And it's like, no, we don't.
So.
And we hand them the little slip of paper with the, whatever. The one time we had it done, it was like twice and it was wrong. And then finally, I think who came over and said.
He was the manager of the restaurant of Los Lobos.
Yeah.
On the NCL Bliss. Thank you very much. I cannot remember your name right now at the time of filming. But he actually was a bartender in New York and said, I know exactly.
Know exactly what you're looking for.
And I was like, are you sure? He says, if it's not right, I'll make it again.
Didn't even have to hand him the recipe.
Brought it over. The minute he was walking over, I said, that looks right.
Yeah, we're like, that's the color.
Next up is something that you can only learn on a cruise ship.
Yes.
Okay? Well, you probably could learn it someplace else.
But you would want to.
I mean, they're the best at it. And that's towel animal folding.
Yeah.
Now, linen folding is a popular event for cruise lines like Royal Caribbean, from fluffy towel animals to fancy formal dinner napkins. Additionally, Disney and Carnival offer towel art classes. The latter even sells books with instructions for some of their most popular towel creatures.
I would like to.
And I got to tell you, because you missed it.
What?
No, you missed it. We were on the Carnival Valor, and I went to breakfast buffet to get our breakfast to bring it back to the room. I don't know if you weren't feeling well or you just got a slow start.
I was tired.
And the whole entire deck 9 Lido had thousands of towel animals.
Oh.
They must have been up all night making these towel animals.
I'm sorry, but I'm more of the fancy formal dinner napkin.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
And less of the towel animals, because I'm not a fan of the towel animals. And every time we get to our cabin, they're everywhere. And I'm like, I'm ripping them apart. I'm like, get this out of the way. I don't have room for this. There, you got an extra towel. There, you got an extra washcloth. We're going to need it in the morning. Get them out of my way.
Well, since you don't like dancing around the towels, let's talk about the next subject that you can learn, and that is dancing.
That is dancing, I know. Consider joining a dance class. Cunard, Royal Caribbean, Princess offer ballroom dance instruction. I like to watch it. I don't think I like to do it. Celebrity features dance classes as part of its celebrity life roster. And Carnival teaches passengers to shake their groove while raising money for pediatric cancer through its Groove for St. Jude program.
And that was just
awesome.
recently, I think.
Yeah.
That happened.
And Holland America, which previously hosted onboard Dancing with the Stars competitions, schedules time for passengers to learn from each ship's dedicated team of dancers.
Very, very interesting.
Yeah, I'm more of the watcher. Like when my friends all joined a line dancing group, half of it was because I couldn't commit to being there that particular day. You're in retail, your schedule changes. But when I did go, I was just happy being the watcher,
Honey,
not the dancer. Though I want to say,
I love you, but I don't think you're that. Were that coordinated.
But when I was in my younger days, and I worked for Sibley's department store, and we did the yearly processional show of shows, I was a 1920s flapper dancer. Down the main aisle, doing the, what's the dance of the Charleston. Thank you. I was a Charleston dancer. Thank you. I was.
Next on the list is language. And I think you can learn, in my opinion, language not just from a teacher, but there's no better time to learn a new language than when you're traveling to a place where you can practice using it. Royal Caribbean offers passengers a chance to learn Spanish greetings, phrases, and questions for conversational use. And I mean, what else? Why else would you learn?
Well, I don't know.
You know, other than have a conversation.
Well, you know a lot of Italian and a lot of it are swear words.
Well, yeah.
I'm still trying to master English, so as much as I want to learn a foreign language, which I took 2 years of Spanish in high school and 2 years of Italian in college, I have totally Lost it all.
Festivals of the World aboard select princess cruises who feature language classes along with lively performances and other festivities. You can learn to speak Hawaiian during the King Kamehameha Festival, German during Oktober Festival, and the language of a few Alaskan clans during Klondike Days. But I say, if you are on a cruise and they are making announcements in multiple languages, try to pick up some new words. That's what I was getting at the beginning of this, is that you do not need a specific instruction. You can tend to pick things up based on what you're hearing or seeing. Now, I know that when you were on your Mediterranean cruise, they made it in Italian, then in Spanish, then in French, then in English. So, you know.
Announcements were very long.
Take advantage of that. You can learn some new words.
Now, last on our list is computers and technology. You know, there are other social media networks worth exploring besides Facebook, okay? So, you know, it teaches passengers how to share their passions through computers and technology, or connect and follow those that have the same interests as they do.
Right, and on Instagram, you can discover new ideas from the visual boards of Pinterest.
I know.
So
it connects you to the world, it connects you to other people. And
there's other visual stimulation other than Facebook. I think people always go to Facebook.
I know. It's not just posting every 10 seconds what you just ate on Facebook.
And speaking of Facebook, we want to remind everybody that's watching that we're on Facebook,
Twitter,
Instagram,
and Snapchat.
We want to thank you for joining us for this exciting video. And remember, don't just watch our videos. Click that subscribe button and the little bell next to it to get notifications of when our videos go live. But until next time, we want to remind everybody,
travel safe
and cruise often.